We are going to continue our journey through the Minecraft region, and today we are going to look at Mega Pokemon. Now, this amazing region is created by PokemonFran, who I'm going to link their Instagram down in the description for you to go and check them out. And I've also done a lot of videos in the Minecraft region before, so I'll link all of them in the description as well. But let's first get started on the Mega Pokemon for the starters. The grass starter is Grassplode and is a grass and electric type Pokemon, and the mega version of this looks amazing. Now, this is based on the creeper from the Mutant Creatures mod, and this is huge compared to the regular creeper, so I absolutely love this look here. Being on all four legs and being huge and having that massive blue spiky mohawk, and even its angry look that it's got, is perfect for a Mega Pokemon, I think. Now, the dex for this says the energy of the Mega Evolution mutates it. It grows larger, allowing it to run faster and can be healed by explosions, because it actually has a new ability called Blast Recovery. Now, Blast Recovery restores HP if using or hit by a bomb or explosion move, which is perfect for the Creeper-inspired Pokemon. Next, we have the Fire Starter Gascorch, which is a Fire and Ghost type Pokemon, and the Mega Evolution is based on the Giant Gas from Minecraft Story Mode. So having those multiple heads on this looks really interesting, but I love the look on it. Previously, Gascorch was kind of like a sad, depressed look, but this almost looks like a tortured kind of look. That mouth and those hands coming out are a really cool look here. The dex for this says Mega Evolution causes it to overflow with ghostly power, drawing in other ghosts to the point of torment. Which is a pretty intense description, I think, but this Pokemon looks really cool as well. And then the final evolution for the water starter Pokemon is Squizzard, the water and psychic type Pokemon. And the Mega for this Pokemon is based on the Kraken. Now, I think this is quite different to the original Squizzard, which is very intelligent, and this just looks really angry now. I do love the stars and the moon design all over that giant head of the Kraken as well. Now, the dex entry for this says it grows in size and strength, now able to bring down things as large as ships with its tentacles and powers. I think out of the starters, the Gascorch is my favorite Mega, but let me know down in the comments which one is your favorite out of these three. And now, Steel Diamond is a pure Steel type Pokemon. When a Mega evolves, it is now based on the missing Netherite horse armor. The armor on this looks very, very strong, but I love that it's offensive as well as defensive because of those massive spikes that it has. Almost looks like it's got a unicorn spike on the top of its head there. But even off the chest as well, those massive spikes that it's got looks really, really cool. Now, the dex for this says when it Mega evolves, its armored body becomes nearly indestructible and incredibly dangerous. Now, next is Loyal Lobo, which is a normal and rock type Pokemon, and when it Mega evolves, it is now based on the new Wolf armor. The new Wolf armor gives it a completely different look, and again, kind of like Steel Diamond, looks very offensive and defensive at the same time. The massive armor all over the back of the wolf, but even like the extra fangs that it's got on its mouth as well is really, really cool. The dex says the Mega Energy causes armor-like stones to form on its body, making it incredibly durable, dangerous, and slow. Next is Tyrantula, the Bug and Dark type Pokemon, and the Mega version for this is based on Hardcore Mode spiders. And we know that Hardcore Mode spiders become invisible, and if we have a look at the back of this Pokemon in the abdomen, we can see that it is becoming invisible as well. So it's kind of half visible and half invisible here, which is really interesting for Pokemon design. The dex entry says the Mega Evolution grants it all sorts of extra power like speed, strength, and even invisibility. So it makes it seem like the entire Pokemon can become invisible like the Hardcore Mode spiders. Then next is Skelbo, the pure Ghost type Pokemon, and the Mega Evolution for this is based on the skeleton from the Mutant Creatures mod, which I think definitely works for a Mega Pokemon because it's so much bigger, but also looks so much more muscly and strong as well. With it, a skeleton can look muscly, but I think it's the big chest and shoulders that it has. The dex for this says it develops ghostly constructs that increases its size and allow it to walk on both legs again. We can also see it's got that bow and arrow as well, but the purpley bits throughout it, making like armor plates on the shoulders and the jaw as well, is a really cool look. Next is Jackalanch, the Fire and Ice type Pokemon, and its Mega Evolution is based on the Snow Golem from the Mutant Creatures mod. So you might see a lot of these inspirations are the same inspiration for the regular Pokemon, but then its inspiration as a Mega is from the Mutant Creatures mod for a lot of these, which makes really cool inspirations. It has a bit of a theme to it as well. And I love that the Jackalanch here has got the arms and legs like from the Mutant Creatures mod, but I love that the arms are becoming the scarf here. So rather than having snowy arms, that scarf has got long arms with fingers on the end of it, which I think is a really cool look. But I also love the fire that's spewing out of that pumpkin mouth there as well. The dex entry says its pumpkin head ignites as it grows in strength. It throws huge chunks of ice at hostile Pokemon. It's like a good cross between Christmas and Halloween here. Next, Deadeye, the poison and fighting type Pokemon, and the Mega Evolution for this is based on the zombie from the Mutant Creatures mod, which is definitely giving me a lot of Hulk vibes because it is so big and so strong and muscly. Almost like a Hulk crossed with a Frankenstein, I feel here. But this thing is looking very strong and very aggressive. I think it's the stitching look on like the shoulders and the legs there kind of look a little bit like Frankenstein. And the dex for this says their muscles grow until they almost burst. This constant strain makes them very aggressive, which definitely fits that whole narrative with all the inspirations as well. Next, Enderman, the Psychic and Dark type Pokemon. Its Mega Evolution is based on the Enderman from the classic Mutant Creatures mod, which is a really interesting look because in the Mutant Creatures mod, it's got those extra arms, but also has that spectral element to it as well. But we can see those two inspirations are combined into one here. So those extra arms on Enderman have become those spectral arms, but it still has those regular arms as well. The dex entry says psychic energy spills from its body, creating extra arms and eyes out of the excess power. So we can see all those extra eyes are all over the body, the legs, and the hands for this Pokemon as well. Next, Golem, the Steel and Fire type Pokemon, and its Mega Evolution is now based on the Furnace Golem from Minecraft Earth. I love that giant furnace look in the middle of its body there. That constant burning flame within like almost that cage look as well is really, really cool. And even the bits of flames or the fiery look on the ends of its hands as well is really cool. The dex says the Mega Evolution ignites its redstone core, causing it to burn with a red-hot fire. Its mere presence can cause its surroundings to catch fire. Next, what Lottle, the Water and Fairy type Pokemon. Its Mega Evolution now combines the Axolotl in a bucket with the buff Axolotl mod, and I think this looks awesome. It's like such a cool combination of being really strong, but also being really silly and derpy at the same time with the bucket on its head. But we can see it looks like it's got abs and it's got pecs and looks very strong and muscly as well, despite still looking quite small. The dex says the mystical power of Mega Evolution summons a bucket helmet, filling what Lottle with courage and strength. Chiclac was the Route 1 bird and is a normal and flying type Pokemon, and its Mega Evolution is actually based on the fancy chicken from Minecraft Earth. So that really long, bright tail that it has really is a shining light here in the Mega Evolution, almost like a long phoenix tail. But I love the contrast of the purple with the teal look on the wings here. Now the dex for this says, upon Mega Evolving, Chiclac gains colorful plumage that makes it surprisingly agile in the air. Next is Happy, the Bug and Poison type Pokemon, and the Mega Evolution combines the Angry Bee and the Bee Nest. So we can see the stinger on it is absolutely huge now, and it's sort of got like needle-like arms or pincers or something on the end of it. But I think because it's inspired by that Angry Bee, the eyes are definitely looking very aggressive. It's not so happy anymore, as we can see in the name, but also in the original Pokemon as well. The dex says Mega Evolution infuriates Happy, and it has become very aggressive. It no longer has any regard for its own safety. So a complete personality shift on this Pokemon. Next, the pseudo legendary of the region, which is one of my favorites as well, which is Wardoom, the Dark and Ghost type Pokemon. Now, the Mega Evolution for this is based on the early design of the hollowed Warden. And I think the look here is so cool. It almost looks like the chest and the stomach is opening up there to reveal those skulls on the inside. But the skull and the shoulder pads being all spiky is really, really cool. And also looking like the little bony spikes on the knuckles there as well is a cool touch. Now the dex for this says the spirits in its core become harder to contain and bony armor forms on its body, making it even more dangerous. Now, next we're going into the legendary Pokemon for the region, but they don't have a Mega form, they have a Primordial form. So it's kind of similar to Primal Evolution you would see for Groudon and Kyogre. Our first legendary is Elderock, which is a Water and Rock type Pokemon, and its Primordial form is now based on the Ancient Guardian boss mob from Minecraft Dungeons. And I think this Pokemon looks phenomenal. It's got like a whole living ecosystem on its back with seaweed and coral and everything, but that eye with those lines coming off it and that really big, jagged, spiky look all over the head, it looks really cool, but also has some very mysterious looks and vibes to it as well. Now, the Elderock transforms with the Orb of Dominance, and the Primordial power transforms Elderock, causing it to grow tremendously in size and strength. So the Mega Pokemon were big, but the Primordial Pokemon are even bigger. Our second box art legendary is Witherrain, which is a Ghost and Dark type Pokemon, and its Primordial form is now based off the Witherstorm from Minecraft Story Mode. So of course it gets much bigger, but I absolutely love, it's almost like a hurricane or a tornado kind of design there. It looks like it has a purple cube in the middle of its chest that's like floating in that big hole. Of course, it still has the 3 heads there, but all of them are like Cyclops heads now. They've only got 1 eye. Definitely giving me like a natural disaster kind of feel, even though there's those little rocks floating around it as well. Now, Witherrain transforms with the Cube of Command. When it transforms, it pulls in matter from all around it and grows to an incredible size. Now, you might remember that there are 3 box art legendaries for this region, and the third one is Endrygon, the Psychic and Dragon type Pokemon. Now, its Primordial form is now inspired by the Ender Dragon, plus the End Crystal, plus the End. All of these come together to make the amazing dragon. Remember, Endrygon is the only Dragon type Pokemon in the entire region. Now, the primordial version looks kind of similar to the original Endrigon, but obviously the stance is different. But the main difference, I feel, are the wings and the tail. Having that starry night sky look in the wings, and even on the horns and the tail as well, is a really, really cool look. Now, Endrigon transforms with the End Crystal. Primordial Endrigon is the End incarnate. It carries an End Crystal with it always, filling it with immeasurable power. So the whole Dex entry definitely vibes with the end and finality with this Pokemon. I hope you've enjoyed looking at the Mega and Primordial Pokemon for this region. I think my favorite is going to have to be Elderock, but let me know in the comments which your favorite is as well. If you haven't yet checked out the full decks for the Minecraft region or checked out the extra forms and shinies, click these videos here. Thanks guys, and I'll see you in the next one.